Welcome back, my gardening friends, to a tour of plot 1. Got so much to share, I'm going to split it into 2 videos. So tour of plot 3 will follow. And we tried some nematodes on the strawberries. These 2 buckets here, they completely died off, but we know there's vine weevil in there. But that one, strawberries are really good at growing in the summer, but over the winter they either survive or they don't when they've got vine weevil damage. So that one's not doing so well. We treated this with the nematodes, so let's have a look, see if there's any signs. Now, they did tell me that the vine weevils would turn red if they've been attacked or what have you with the grubs. That's very dry and I can't see anything there. I'm just going to pop that onto a lid to have a proper look, so I'm not boring you to tears. So just out of that one corner, we've got found 3 grubs. I'll leave them out in the open. Hopefully the robin will appreciate those. But the long-term experiment doesn't look like they've been affected at the moment. But the long-term experiment will be with the ones that we haven't treated, and we'll see how these get on. I thought that one was completely dead. It's not going to recover, so let's have a little look. Don't know how long it takes for the nematodes to get going. Right, let's go and have a little look at everything else that's going on. So this is all that's left of the compost that we found in February and March. 2,400 litres. That's took us up to nearly 29,000 litres since I started collecting the dumped fly-tipped compost by the cannabis growers. So you can imagine how much that would have cost. And this will be added to my compost mix. No good sorting it and then putting it in the containers where I store it. I might as well just do it straight out the bag. And there's some of the roots and bits and bobs that have got to go home that I don't normally compost. And I'll be emptying my compost bin. I empty this every 12 months. I'm not adding much to it now. I've been taking the juices, etc. We've got lots of things growing. That's like cabbages. That's the cabbage stalks. Nature always finds a way. But we'll be emptying this out, popping it onto the floor, and adding different things that I've got that haven't cost me nothing. All the leaves are now in the bin. That's 2021's collection. Because the leaves do tend to dry out, I've put 3 pipes in. I can then add the fish poo, I can add the urine and the compost bin runoff to add nutrients and help with the breakdown process, because there's 25 bags, 1 ton bags in there, plus the 9 or so bags that I picked up. There's my 2020 leaves. They're over 12 months old now. They'll be harvested using my trommel in the autumn, and then we move all these leaves over into that little square bin. That's how much they actually all break down. Don't show you me banana skins very often. I'm supposed to harvest the juices a little bit quicker than I am doing. Rhubarb leaf concentrate, that's just leaves. That's the juice that comes out the leaves. I'm going to be using that predominantly on any of the fruit for any aphids, whitefly, etc. this time. and we store the cardboard up there, and then all these containers. I've got to get on top of this. This is the water from these 2 galvanized tanks underneath here, and then they've got the arbor columns underneath, predominantly for nature. I think it's mainly rats, but I've got 2 siphoning pipes in there to help me get the water easy in that area, because we've got quite a big roof space there. I haven't collected any manure for a while. I won't be collecting it again this year. There's the comfrey plant food, and there's the nettles. I'll be collecting nettles this year, and that will go into this drum here. That's my fish poo drum, but I'm going to stick to popping in there and not collect it, just fire it straight in. Comfrey's doing well. I'm going to a place where I know there is some comfrey, and I'm going to set up my comfrey pipe. So we've got a nice little setup there. That concrete block presses down on just the leaves, not the stems, just the leaves. I'll be dismantling that and showing you what's in there, and then it dribbles into a little 10-litre plastic container, which is a real good concentrate to use at over 20 to 1. This is my gravity fed wick guttering system, so the water goes in there. It's a little float, and there's rainwater guttering all the way around, and I'll be putting the wicks into the containers. Alan from the Dawn Chorus plot, please pop and visit his channel. He'd love to see you and have a chat. And he said, because last year we had issues with some wilt, bacterial wilt, etc., and he said maybe use 1 wick but put a point on it coming up to the compost. So I'm going to try that this year. This is what it's all about, gardening, is the comments and people making suggestions. This is how we learn, and then we share. Strawberry beds are looking great. We have got some damage on the strawberries. I'll have a little look. I'm trying a different, I've got one of the furry muffs on the microphone, so hopefully you're not catching the wind today. The mini beast from the east. But there you've got the strawberries. The one at the bottom is fine, the one at the top has been frosted, so obviously I've pinched that from somewhere else, but you may, if you see that, throw it away so the plant can concentrate on producing more flowers. I've removed all the blanket weed out of the wildlife pond. I've got fish in there, so the fish look after themselves. I've never fed these fish since I put them in. They fend for themselves. I've tidied this area up, pulled out some of the wildflowers, etc. And that's the cooking apple tree. I made those mushrooms from logs using the chainsaw. There is a video in the playlist for logging and storage. It's quite a popular video, that one. These roof tiles and that straw rope will be added to the wildlife haven. We've got sunflower stalks in there and all sorts. I think it needs just a revamp and maybe straighten up, because those big logs, the logs have got holes in them. So during the summer we'll be revamping that, ready for the winter. Tidied this area up. I've got my sweet peas in. A nice little tip there for you. Just a lid, cut some holes in it, and then it holds your canes together. Reuse that year after year. I'm going to leave some of these wildflowers in. Trouble is, some of these wildflowers, they've got them horrible roots that travel a long way, and they do take some getting out. But we'll leave this be for this time, and hopefully, I think that might have been the robin, this poppy will come good again. And even these small tulip bulbs are now come like that. I didn't think they'd get as big as that, but some of them are very small. You just get the leaves for the first few years. I'm pleased with that. Some of the damage that we've had with this easterly wind, it's blown from a different direction, That's the west, and obviously to your right is the east, and it's flipped this back over and smashed everything to pieces. More damage on plot 3, you'll see that in a following video. But the water collection, we'll try our best to keep that up and running, but I need to reset everything again. It's absolutely dragged everything apart. So a lot of that compost that we found has gone into this bay on this side, on the damaged section. This is right next to the Bocking 14 comfrey. Massive leaves on these, so basically we'll be checking just the leaves and pop them into the comfrey pipe. It saves having such a big barrel about. You can have it in 20 litres and last you the whole season. All the surplus, I say surplus, it isn't surplus, but this is the compost that we find that's got the perlite in. We've weeded, took out all the strawberry plants because they've probably all got the vine weevil. That's why they don't do so well. So out they came, and these are the summer fruiting ones, hopefully. If they don't fruit this year, I'll prune them from the bottom and the root. As you can see, I've had some pickings of rhubarb. That's 2 pickings. Absolutely gorgeous sticks. I haven't had any myself, I've given some away. Still eating apples. I'll be sick to death of apples. Now I'll be sick to death of rhubarb. Then it'll be sick to death of raspberries, then blackberries. But bar gum, we do eat our fruit in our house. This corner where I've chopped it back, the rhubarb crown isn't doing so well, but I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all. There's plenty of rhubarb there. I'll keep all the good bags that I get from the cannabis growers that I can salvage. And as you've seen earlier, I found 2 more drums. That's 4 in total for April. And the potato barrels, if you haven't seen them, let's show you. Some people only visit me occasionally. These are the potato barrels. They'll those condors will go into there. You can see the condors in the next video. This month we took out all the snowdrops, and they're in there drying out nicely. We'll clean those up and get them in before we have any masses of rain. And I'm looking close. Oh, and actually, in fact, some of these plums are actually can't tell. When you look at the screen, it's very difficult, but we'll have an update on those. But it looks like we've got a few plums coming, even though those frosts caught them. Again, this has all been de-weeded, got all the old rubbish out, the raspberry runners. These are the autumn fruiting, so they start from scratch each year and they fruit the same year. Like on that one, this support is ideal, but I think I'm going for the narrower support. So when this one rots down, breaks, I'm going to put them closer together. Makes it easier. I've been intertwining all the blackberries, and I've left the strawberries for now. I've got quite a bit of the wildflowers in here, and they're the seeds, and they're all those horrible roots similar to twitch, etc. If you don't get it all out, it grows back, so I just need to be patient with that. And on here as well, look, good strawberry, bad strawberry. This is one of my dumping grounds of the timber, but we've all got that somewhere on our allotments. Not so much on this plot, more plot 3. I might even show you all my messy areas in the next video. So we're in the cage. It's a Brassica Cage, but it doubles up for strawberries. These strawberries have picked up really well. These are the strawberries that we got from the mother plant last year in the polytunnel. You'll see those shortly, and see they're on their 2nd or 3rd year. You replace them every 3 years, so I think they'll be the ones in the polytunnel need to be changed, but I'm probably going to take them out anyway. This is where I have my giant cabbages. This one's perked up, but looking at on the groups, Not much chance of me winning anything, but you never know. In those high winds previously, going back a few quite a few weeks, one of these fell off and snapped that off. Now I've got two growing. I'm not going to cut them off this time. This is my second place cabbage at Malvern, so in 2 years time I should have my own stock again. That's the poppy that we've saved, but look at all the seed in there. I need to tidy that up. But in here probably end up having some giant carrots, etc. These are original true seed, or was, from DT Brown. They don't do it anymore because it was creating too many pups, but bar gum, it was ideal for being a giant cabbage. I've been so good around the allotment getting out all the dandelions, and I've missed this one. And look, it's gone to seed. So, as they say, one year's seed, 7 years weed. You need to pick them before they get too big. You can pull them out easy. It's being vigilant and proactive. You may have seen these wheelie bins before. This one is what I used to do my banana skins in. Then I've done the rhubarb leaves a couple of years back. That's a spare wheelie bin for home. And then we've got these others here. This was the comfrey bin, but I'm going to use some containers. This was the nettles. I'll probably use that. What's in here? Let's have a quick look. Nice and clean. And then this was the perennial weeds, and we've got a few in there. I don't get many, and I'm a bit lazy. I'd rather take them home and put them in the green bin. I pay for the green bin, so what we do now, because of the amount that I do generate here and at home, but that's what I use to filter the, excuse the noise, that's what I use to filter all my plant foods. It's an old wire litter bin. That top pallet is my gate for plot 3. Been wanting to do that now for 2 or 3 years, still haven't done it, but it's there, it's ready to go. I'll put that wire bin in there on top of some bricks, and then I'll collect it, and then it's raised up obviously, and then I put it into the containers. This is my original volunteer asparagus. I let that go to seed. Well, it goes to seed anyway, doesn't it? I let the ferns continue, took the berries off, and that's the asparagus that you'll see on plot 3 on that tour. And it's just started to come through now. A couple of days' time, that'll be ready. But I'm getting enough big spears off what's been in that bed now for 2 years, so this will be dug out, and I can fill any areas in that haven't grown on plot 3. Then I can use this area to store water. The greenhouse guttering goes all the way round, well, from each end. I cut a piece out the aluminium gutter into there, and then it goes into the barrel. I'm hoping to interconnect this similar to the ones by the what should be manure bins, but they're compost bins. Well, I can get the compost and get manure anytime, but you might be able to see, get the shadow out of the way, how clear the water is. That's a little bit greener, maybe because it's got 2 holes in it and the entrance hole. I'm surprised how quickly the water does go green, but we'll do the siphoning system by the greenhouse because water is precious. If we get a drought now, I'll be run out of water by about June or July, and I've got about 18,000 litres. Cover that hole up for now to stop the sunlight getting in. Well, I wasn't watching the time, was I? You're already into 20 odd minutes. Apologies for that, but lots to share. Thumbs up, thumbs down for the interaction, if you don't mind, please, before you leave. And or as always, leave a comment. I reply to all the comments. And consider subscribing. And please pay Alan a visit at the Dawn Chorus plot. And he'd love to see you. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.